So I'm in the process of restoring the chassis from a 1942 Philco radio, AM short band and stuff. The speaker itself, I was considering just putting a modern one in there, just because it's kind of torn. But I don't know if this works yet, whether it's even worth it, because it's got, you can't just literally hook it up. It has there's actually no magnet. This is a, it's got an electromagnet. It's a field coil style. Some of them have an extra, like a output transformer mounted on the bottom. This is, I guess it's part of the chassis, or it doesn't need it. The 4 pins on this is actually where the speaker output connector from the amplifier came out. So you've got, yeah. So actually got 5 pins in there, but 4 are used. 2 of them, which is actually, double check that. Yeah, the one's closer together on the bottom is DC voltage, and then the top 2 are going to be the actual speaker output, so audio through the top, power through the bottom, and that just kind of connects on that guy. Just like that, and that's how it runs. So, I gotta see if this thing actually works how it's supposed to before I continue with filling the crater. Let's see here. Now the way I found to actually test this thing, since there is no physical magnet, it's just electricity will energize the top of the coil and make a magnetic field. It's kind of funny, this thing's got an old, this will focus, there it goes. I don't know if this was a replacement speaker at one point. I see it's Cummins Radio, North Street, Philadelphia, I think it says. That's kind of neat. I guess if they replaced the speaker, they would have, this is just their service tag taped to it. It doesn't have a date, but you can see it starts at 194, so 1940 something. Kind of neat. I don't really want to take that off just because it kind of adds a original look to it, even though it's kind of chunked away. But the speaker itself, with the field coil, what you've got to do, I did hook this up once before just to speaker terminals, and it makes sound, sort of. It's really quiet, distorted. So I'm going to rig something up just to see if the field coil's shot. I did run my Philco multimeter on this. We're getting a little over 4 ohms on the speaker terminals, which top ones. It's a little bit over 4 ohms. It's not shorted, it's not open, so we're good there. Then I tested the actual power side of the field coil. It's about 1,000 ohms, like 1K something. It's a little bit over, but I know that's not dead shorted. So, other than physical disintegration of this thing, hopefully it works. So what I'm doing, I think, is take different voltages, but I'm just using a wall plug. It's 12 volts. And I'm gonna rig something up here. So, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'm gonna take, let's see, some speaker inputs, top ones. Bottom should be a coil. I don't think polarity matters. However, got a black and a, I guess everything's brown with just the dirt on it, so I'm going to assume black is negative. This is totally rigged up. I don't have my test leads right now. So this will have to work using some Philco probes with little alligator clips slipped over the ends. So that'll be power. Take the ground of this ghetto set up here. Ground on that one. Dorky positive tab. Come on. Yeah, it's totally rigged. So it doesn't short out, whatever. And then And trusty bananas. Some other test leads that had alligators on them. So let's see. That one's red. This one goes straight to the terminal. So I'm assuming red's gonna be positive on the speaker. Which I could pull the schematic to figure it out, but it doesn't show much as far as polarity. Here's the 4 pins. We've got a speaker in the top, just into a speaker wire. Things are rigged for power. So before I plug in the coil, this does make sound, so let's get something going. Switch it to this speaker. Basically, I have to go full volume and it starts to distort. So, back down to 0 volume. Let me power this in. No explosions, no fires. Let that warm up a second. Now I'm on minimal volume, and it's much louder. Huge difference, so I guess we're good. Totally rigged up, but if you have a field coil that you're unsure of, first thing, get rid of this power here. I would just take the multimeter to these leads, just to make sure you're not gonna waste your efforts with a field coil that's internally shorted. But what I did, just to make sure I wasn't gonna kill my dorky little power supply, put on the ohms here. Each of these. So we had speaker terminals were the bottom. I'm going to place those on there. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the field coil. And yeah, 1022 ohms, so about 1K. And the speaker terminals itself. One-handed is lovely doing this. So, testing the 2 speaker terminals, 4.5 ohms. Double verify on the actual speaker terminals here. 4.3, 4.4, 4.6, this depends where I move it. 4.5 or 7, oh, just lost it. It's about the same. So we know that's working, and basically what I'm seeing is I guess the negative lead runs straight into the terminal, and what I'm assuming is a positive is in the coil. I don't know if that's for noise reduction or what, but it may just be a pass-through. So that's what I did to test this one. You could probably apply this to any field coil speaker. This doesn't have the extra transformer that hangs off of most of them. So I was just assuming it's either not needed or it's internal with the radio chassis. So hopefully you can apply this to a project you're working on and save you from trying to figure out what to do to replace one of these. Well, there you go. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments.